Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Girl Talk. I am so excited today. I have back in the studio again my wonderful sister-in-law, JoAnn.
Hello.
So welcome, JoAnn. First, maybe you could tell us how long you've been married and a little bit about yourself.
Oh, I've been married for 10 years, and we have a trip coming up to kind of celebrate that. We're going to Cancun. And I'm a mom of two little girls, a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and they keep me busy. And I have a lot of help. I'm very blessed with very good people around me.
They each have their own personalities, which is so fun.
Mm-hmm.
I was remembering yesterday I took them down in the office. We have a break room, so I took them to the vending machine. And I never realized this like in the moment, but when you go back and think about it, then you're like, oh my goodness, that's what was happening. But Grace was picking out her lemonade, and like Grace is just in control. I'll push the numbers, I'll put the money in. And then I looked over and Gwen is like breakdancing on the floor, just spinning around. And I just was like, Gwen, please stand up. And I didn't even think. And then I was laughing later on in the day thinking that's just their personalities. You know, Gwen's just over there having a party and Grace is real like specific to the point. Let's get the lemonades that we came down here for.
Yes.
So,
and we have like 5 lemonades in our refrigerator at home.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I guess we could take a break
I know
from that.
one time they're like, oh, the vending machine was out of lemonades. I'm like, it's because they're all at my house.
They love their lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
But today I really brought JoAnn on Girl Talk to share with you something specific. And JoAnn, as she mentioned, she is married. She's been married for 10 years. And she was sharing in her Instagram stories about this book that she was reading. And she's starting in February praying for her husband specifically. And I thought, that is so good. And it's an area I am not married, so I can't share that with you guys. But I wanted JoAnn to share it with you and just kind of tell us a little bit about what it's about and what her challenges that she's challenging herself for the month, and invite you guys to join in if you wanted to. So, JoAnn, I'll let you take it over.
Yeah, I can do that. So the book that I listened to about a year ago was called The Power of the Praying Wife. And I had heard it, the name of that by multiple women. And, at beginning of last year was a tough start to the year. So one of the things that God pointed out to me was that book, because it just kept getting popped up. So I tried it, and it was really, really good. My biggest takeaway from it was understanding the connection that I have with my husband and getting to know the power of prayer and the effect that it has on my husband and our relationship. And then, so when I experienced that, I was like, every wife needs to hear about this. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm going to even do this with some of my girlfriends. We can just pray for our spouses and then for each other's marriages. And so that didn't happen. I didn't talk to any of my friends, but I did get this little book where this is just the prayers that she writes in her book. Now, she has a bigger version of it where she talks about her stories and other people's stories about the power of prayer, and I do recommend that. It's very good. I listened to it, so it is on Audibles. This book is from Amazon, and when I started it and I was really loving it, I definitely noticed, the Holy Spirit being in our marriage. And then it did dwindle. It did dwindle down, As a mom, you just get busy. And then about a couple months ago, I found myself in the spot where I was really holding on to some hurt. And I was noticing when I was like talking with John, and like he would say, I love you, and I'd say, I love you back. And I just didn't feel it. And I don't want to say that love is a feeling, because that's not true, so don't get me wrong here. But like I was holding on to this hurt that it was stopping me from really accepting his love, and it was keeping me from showing love back. And of course, John saw that. We do have a very deep connection, and I have a lot of help. Like I said, I have a life coach. Shout out to Leslie, and we've been really working on my emotional intelligence. So I'm driving in the car. I was like, okay, why am I feeling this way? What am I feeling? When did this start? Is there any what's not reoccurring, but triggers? Are these, are any patterns? And I did notice there was a pattern. This is something that has happened the last few months around my cycle, right before my cycle. And I'm like, okay, what am I going to do about it? And so number one was I'm going to get my hormones checked out. And we've been working on it, and I've been seeing really good growth in that. So that's amazing. And then I was like, Lord, just show me how to feel and to show love. Like, I'm just, I was opening myself, like just getting past any hurt that I was feeling, and just like, God, help. And he brought to mind this book, and he was like, hey, remember this? Remember how you wanted to share it with your girlfriend? Like, maybe we should try that. So right away in my car, I call up my girlfriend, Ceci, and I spill it all out. This is what I'm feeling. This is my hurt. And in that moment, I just want to shout out to her a little bit. She totally could have just been like, yeah, and totally bashed John and validated all this hurt that I had been feeling. But she didn't. She breathed life into me. She just went on to tell me that your husband loves you. I know it. I've seen it. And she brought up situations where, we were together, Ceci and I, and my husband called me and just said, hey, just want to say I love you. And in the moments up to that phone call, I was so covered and buried and drowning myself in hurt that I didn't even think about those times. I didn't remember them. But when she breathed that life back into me, I could feel again, and not just hurt feeling. And that was, so I'm just so thankful for a sweet friend like that, and they are something to be cherished.
And a godly friend. Like, we've had Ceci on to talk specifically about friendship. So you can definitely go back and listen to that podcast. But she is a godly, a gift from God,
And I think she said this on the podcast, but like, if you don't have a friend like that, then I challenge you to go out and be that friend to someone. Because that was so lifting for me in that moment. She was God sent. And then, so just right after that, I had this poll to post more on social media about Christ. Christ was telling me this, and I was like, I don't know. I enjoyed the detachment from social media.
Yeah.
It's been a few months, and I've really liked it. But God just kept saying, you need to do this. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not doing it until you give me something to share, because I'm not going on to lift myself up. I'm only doing this for the Father. And then, just a couple months ago, he says, okay, no, not a couple months ago. This was the beginning of January. He's like, hey, why don't you put it all out there on your social media and invite wives to pray for their spouses for the month of February, which I thought was kind of cool because it's the love
month. Yes,
yeah. And
it's perfect,
and it's my birthday month. So, and there's 30 prayers in this book, and there's I know there's more than February has, like, what, 20?
I think 28.
Yeah, 28, sometimes 29, whatever. So we'll figure that out.
Right.
But if it goes into the next month, but I would love for all of you to experience Christ in your marriage and what he can do. And in her book, this is a challenge from her. She's like, I challenge you to read these prayers every day for 30 days. And it's so big, because not only are you challenging God to be into your marriage and to pray for your husband, but you're also spending 30 days straight of praying to God and growing your own relationship with Christ. And so I've really enjoyed that part about this. And then, let's see. Okay, the last thing that I wanted to share with you was it's kind of a funny story, because it involves my husband and I in a tanning salon.
Okay.
Yeah, right? Okay, you're like, okay, tell me more.
Yes.
So we are going to Cancun, and whenever my husband goes on a trip that's anywhere close to the equator, he burns, and then he's in so much pain that he can't really enjoy himself. So he's, this morning, actually, we're about to do our devotionals together, and he's like, I need to go tanning because I am not getting burnt on this trip.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny.
Yeah. So, and I'm like, I don't want to be burnt to a crisp. I want to enjoy the time.
Yes.
And not be afraid to go outside because I'm burnt. So I'm like, okay, let's do this. And then, we read through our Proverbs of the day, and then we separate to our own separate devotionals. And I'm thinking as I'm moving, getting comfy, I was like, hey, babe, just so you know, like, when we go into this tanning salon, there's going to be pictures of women that are tan and bikinis and stuff. And he's like, oh, great. And I'm like, just so you know, okay?
Yes.
So then I open up, like seconds later, I open up to today's prayer. These are, they're not numbered, but if you do them in order, I didn't start on a particular day. That's what's just cool about
right.
this. Today was where I was praying for temptations. And then she goes into, I don't want to read it verbatim. That might be illegal. But like deliver him from the evils such as pornography, drugs, and alcohol, and gambling, and drink. There's more. And then she goes into make him strong where he is weak, and help him to rise above anything that seeks to erect any strongholds in his life. And I just thought that was so cool that God pointed that out to me today, because I did a step with, hey, I'm going to prepare you that there's going to be this there.
Yeah. And
then it was like, okay, good luck. Like it's there. Do what you need to,
right.
Like figure it out. But no, I actually armored him because of that connection that I have with him.
That's amazing.
Through my prayer, I armored him to get prepared for today. And that's what it's like with every single prayer. That I really suggest you getting her main book, because to really understand the connection that you have with your spouse is just really, it gets you pumped up. It's just so cool.
Yeah, I love that. So this book is called The Power of a Praying Wife, and it's by Stormie Omartian.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say it.
We will type it out in the show notes so that way you could read it. But and like JoAnn said, she found it on Amazon. Mm-hmm. I think this is more powerful than we could even realize.
Yes.
But also, let's plan to put into place how we can remember to do this every day. Mm-hmm. Because I know as a mom, it's crazy. I only watch the girls Sunday morning and getting them ready and getting them to church, and I'm like, I need a break. And you guys do it every single day. So I would say maybe let's plan for February. We know February 1st is coming. So if you want to join this challenge, I think that would be awesome for all these women to be partnering and praying over their husbands together. That's definitely going to make Satan tremble, but figure out what you could do to make it a trigger, whether it's as soon as you get up, or maybe it's when you're driving to school, you're going to have it on Audible so you can listen to it. Mm-hmm. But kind of put it in a plan, order the book on Amazon so you're ready to go.
Yep.
So
Leave
that
it on your nightstand.
Yeah, something. And then, of course, if you miss a day, that's fine. But I would also recommend ask God to remind you. Ask him, fervently say, Father, this is important to you. It's important to me, our marriage. Continually remind me of this, and mm-hmm. it's going to be on the forefront of my mind in February.
Yeah. And my birthday is February 1st. So if all you wives got together and posted we're doing this, and some already have, I feel so full when I get a message saying that I got my book in, but February 1st is the first day. So if you post, if you want to post out that you're doing it or sharing it, and just get all the wives getting to pray for their husbands. That's just,
And JoAnn is going to be in Cancun on February 1st.
Yes. Yeah.
Sitting on the beach thinking about it.
I'll be praying so hard on that beach.
I'm sure you will, though.
Yes.
But that's, what a wonderful time to reconnect to and just be with your husband. But JoAnn Mathewson, mm-hmm. You're Jo Mathewson on Instagram, right?
Right.
And you're on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So look her up. And then also look up Ceci. Is Ceci doing it? Ceci, we're calling you out. We hope you join the challenge.
Of course she is.
But if you're looking for a friend or anybody to even talk through about your marriage, I would highly recommend JoAnn and Ceci. They definitely have a wonderful mm-hmm. friendship, and they would, I'm speaking out for you, but I'm sure they would love to connect with you and pray for you in any way. So, girlfriends, we sure do love you. I pray often for all the followers on this page and what God has planned, and we hope this is something else that will help strengthen you and specifically your marriage. We'll catch you guys next time. Hey, girlfriends, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to our podcast today. We are grateful to have you here.
We are Girlfriends Just Talking. We want to encourage women to live an intentional, powerful, positive, and spirit-filled life.
Come check us out over on Instagram and Facebook, where we have a community of women encouraging other women. We'll see you there.